This artist, recognized as Rising Star for the 2022 Canadian Country Music Association, has over 41 million combined global streams. A lot of those are accumulating with the latest party track, Still Somethin. How's it going, Andrew Hyatt?
I'm good. I'm just walking back to the place I'm staying here in Calgary to get with my coffees and just kind of trying to wake up today.
And so we were just talking about Dallas Smith and how you hopped on stage with them in Calgary just a couple days ago.
Yeah, I was going to come out and rip one with him. He invited me out, so it was nice. I hadn't seen those guys in a bit. And then one of my closest brothers in the industry, Sean Austin, was out here a couple of nights ago as well. So I was like, we'll just stay and we'll hang. And it's just nice to see everybody, right? Especially during a season that's a little busier, or wherever you are in the world. I've been in the States a bunch, so I haven't seen anybody. So it was nice to hang. It was nice to play. It just felt good to get back on stage.
And you're going to be on stage again July 28th. You've got a show September 8th and September 22nd, all Canadian dates. If people want to catch a show, and you gotta play this song. It's such a summer song and a hard hitter for you.
It's kind of funny. We recorded this song pre-pandemic, and then we ended up just kind of sitting on it for a minute. I was waiting on a vocal surgery, which is now kind of ancient history, thankfully. So we sat on it. We came back to it kind of post-pandemic when we started to make this record. And I had surgery, recut the vocal. It felt a lot better. It just felt really strong. I just wanted to make sure that I was delivering on the song. And we started playing it, and the crowd reactions were great. So, we kind of knew, okay, this is going to be a single off this record. We're not sure when, we're not sure how. And just luckily it hit kind of just in time for this summer.
This album, we're talking about 4 Good Years, which very clever with the cover using Goodyear tire. So that record helped you after your vocal surgery. Like you were just getting up on your game, and then you had this condition that you needed surgery for.
Yeah, it was quite a journey, actually, both mentally and physically. When something is as natural as breathing to you, and then all of a sudden it's not, it was a very, and then you don't know what's happening. We didn't know for a long time what was going on with my voice. So it took me about 2 years to kind of get answers and figure out the why and the how. And then I spent most of that time rebuilding with this vocal coach out of Nashville named Chanel Guyton twice a week. It was an investment on all parties, both Dallas, both as management, and then both my label and myself. I think those payments to rebuild my voice bi-weekly were probably double my mortgage for 2 years. So it was, I just had to make a choice whether I was going to keep going or not. And I can't imagine my life any other way. So we went into it, and then I built a studio in my basement as I was having a ton of performance anxiety because my voice hadn't been working, and I didn't want to be renting studios and, at an hourly or a per 4-hour rate. And so I built a studio, figured out how to start tracking vocals, and we did all the vocals remote. I just took my time. I kind of found my voice again over 6 months, and just, if I was having a bad day or if I was in my head, I'd shut her down and walk away and come back when I was feeling good.
You recorded the vocals for this album all in your studio at home.
Yeah, I always joke that this record sounds very free because most of it I did with no pants on. So, but yeah, that was what we did. This is it's kind of the first time, actually 100% the first time I'd ever done it this way. So it was interesting to kind of track them myself. And then Scotty Chops, my producer, and I, shout out to him. He was nominated actually for Producer of the Year on this record, and also another record that he did just got nominated for Album of the Year yesterday. So it's pretty dope. Yeah. And
one of the collaborators on this song, Still Somethin, Morgan Wallen, is that right?
Yeah. So it was a pitch. I think I'm so terrible at remembering. I know this record has everybody from Morgan, Hardy, Mitchell, Tenpenny, all those guys have cuts on this record. There was a lot of great pitches that came in, and we always play by, best song wins. So it's hard. It's really hard when you've written a shit ton of music, and then, you turn around and you have these songs coming in that are just absolutely insane. So yeah, we cut a lot of outside tracks on this record, but I love them and I connect with them all. So super happy about that.
You're doing well, and like having that name on your record, he's so huge right now. And then you've toured with like Dallas Smith, Tim Hicks, Dean Brody, and you've got some tour dates of your own coming up.
Yeah, I feel like, they call it a 10-year game, and I think we're hitting year 9. I say we, but it's like myself and my band guys have been with me the whole time since the beginning. Yeah, so I think we're year 9, and we're kind of starting to see a little bit more push. It's just a slow and steady game, right? Like we make music that we love, and we don't make it for anybody else, which I'm super, super grateful that I have a label that doesn't ask me any questions. They just let me go in, they give me a budget, I go and I cut a record and I hand it to them. And then they figure it out from there, which is not always the case. Actually, it's probably the exception to the rule.
Yeah, for sure.
So they kind of stay out of it and let me do what I want to do. I've always kind of approached it in that aspect after my first record deal anyway, because the experience was so different. On this deal, I kind of said, hey, if I'm going to make music, I'm going to make exactly what I want to make, because that's why you're signing me as an artist. And they backed me on that. And, I'd rather take the long road and do what I do until what I do becomes relevant than kind of chase the tail end of what's hot. So.
Okay. Well, you're doing well. Sirius XM gave you Top of the Country title, and you got Rising Star at the CCMAs last year. So this song, it's got a really hard rock feel to it, and a lot of your influences aren't just country, even though you're a country musician.
Yeah, so I actually grew up, I can find photos of myself that are hilarious. Actually, we were doing this last night with people. I grew up playing in rock and punk bands.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of what was in the scene in my hometown growing up. And from there, all the guys in my band decided that they were all going to get married in their early 20s. And I just wasn't there. I still wanted to make music. So I made a record. I actually took out a student loan to go to school. And then about a week into school, I was like, this isn't what I want to do. I want to make music. So I took that loan and made a record. And that record kind of felt a little bit more country than anything I had ever done. I grew up listening to that with my family. That's always kind of what was on in the summers. And when we stripped it back and kind of went down to a little more songwriter vibes, it just kind of came up country. And from there, I ended up stumbling head over heels into a record deal. And it's just kind of a crazy 12 years, I guess, since that time.
So what is your favorite song right now?
Probably All Yourn by Tyler Childers.
And favorite album right now?
Again, it's going to fall to Tyler Childers. I just saw him at Bonnaroo, and he was just so good. I already love the music, but I just, when you see a band live that you haven't seen before, an artist live, and it's as good or better than the record, I've had an obsession with his tone of his voice, and his lyrical prowess has been something that I just can't shake. So obsessed with that right now.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's the way to do it, is going to see live concerts, festivals, and it's the season right now. You're going to be playing the Palmer Rapids Twin Music Festival coming up July 28th. So how are you feeling with the live gigs now?
Yeah, I feel good about them. We love playing music. We've got a bit of a slower summer only because, we've got a full cross Canada tour that we're about to announce in a couple months in the end of January to February. There's nothing I love more than playing music live. That's my two favorite things, are writing songs and playing them live. So everything else in between just kind of comes with the job. But yeah, there's nothing better than being on stage and just getting sweaty.
Well, you look like you're having fun doing it. I was watching on YouTube the video for Still Somethin, and it was that was recorded live in Toronto.
Yeah, so we had done a record release. It was my birthday, actually, May 7th. That was the first show that we had all been on stage together because of the pandemic. And the label calls and goes, hey, by the way, we're actually hiring a team to film this whole thing, and we're going to make a live performance, of 3 of the songs. We hadn't even practiced together. Like, everybody just hung out by themselves, and we went through the songs. So we showed up, and I was like, hey, haven't seen you in a year and a half. Good to see you. And then, luckily my guys are total pros, so we had a blast doing it.
So how long of a heads up did they give you?
Like under 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of funny, but we had already been getting ready for the show, so we were fine, but it just added an extra layer, right? You don't really play in like a tight club or anything like that for 2 years. You're doing these spaced out shows that kind of feel a little weird, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, you're going to be in a room that's packed full of people, and you're going to have like 7 people or however many on stage. And on top of that, we're going to record it, and you haven't done it together in a while. So a little bit of pressure, but we thrive under pressure. So it was good.
Well, that is awesome. And we look forward to these live shows you've got coming up and the tour announcement that you said in January and February. This song, Still Somethin', is awesome. I think it's the best one you've had yet. And
thank you so much.
People need to listen to this, and if they get a chance to see Andrew Hyatt live, definitely go to one of those shows. Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time with me today, and best of luck with those shows.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day.